Guys and girls, we are sitting within a PS5 game, an Unreal Engine 5 game, as we look at the majesty and the potential of what next gen can provide. This is such a good thing to finally see a glimpse of what these ultra powerful consoles are capable of. Will they be able to launch us straight into the future of gaming? After today, I think we will say yes, because thus far we've seen some cool stuff, but nothing that says, wow, this is why I'm dropping 500 big ones. And today Epic decided to blow out Unreal Engine 5 and show what they've been able to achieve on a PS5. This was captured on a PS5 dev kit. They say it's legit. I'm going to go over the video with you guys. We're going to talk all the information, everything that was announced, when it's coming out, what it means for you, and if it looks good enough. So what's going on, everybody? It's GhostRobo. Let's run this video. Hit that like button if you're excited for next gen. I skipped all their talking. I'm sure they're very eloquent, but I want to see the goods, man. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of this demo. Does it look next gen? Now remember, it's a little hard because we're just looking at it on YouTube, but oh, the depth in that distance looks so yummy, and I'm imagining what games this is going to apply to, and I want you guys to think as well. What game would you want to see this tech on? So with this kind of environment, I'm thinking like Tomb Raider.
Before we continue, let's stop a moment
thinking
and take
Uncharted.
a look at some of the key features of this demo.
Even like Elder
Much
Scrolls.
of what you see was built with Quixel Megascan assets, but
those
instead of
environments.
using the game versions, we used the cinematic versions, which would typically only be used in film. There are around 1 million triangles each, and thanks to virtual texturing, they all use 8K textures as well.
Okay.
Nanite can render an insane number of triangles very quickly. There are over 1 billion triangles of source geometry in each frame that Nanite crunches down losslessly to around 20 million drawn triangles. What does that many triangles look like?
Okay, there's a
This
lot
isn't
of like
These are
mumbo
the
jumbo
triangles,
here,
each a
right?
different color.
And I know
Most
some
are
of you are really into this, but I just kind of
as
want to
well,
see
and Nanite can
what it looks like. I know that the PS5's
power
SSD
of
is
Lumen
insane.
that even
And I know that it's able to load worlds super fast and create just so much detail. You know, they've talked about the Spider-Man demo where Spider-Man's just zooming through the city. There's no loads. As they move the shadows
let's
around.
keep going.
Yes, let's keep going. That's what I want to see. This is basically our... I mean, we saw like 10 seconds of Godfall gameplay. But this is like the best representation yet of what next-gen gaming
We've made some
looks
great
like.
additions to our audio system as well. Convolution reverb allows us to measure reverberation characteristics of real spaces, like actual caves that we sampled, and reproduce them in virtual spaces.
I will
Sound
say...
field rendering allows us to record and play back spatialized audio.
I will say that it's... Like, at first blush, I'd be like, oh, this looks pretty good, but does it look revolutionary?
All of this adds up to a more immersive experience.
I mean, some of the stuff does look insanely good, but we've had insanely good-looking games the past couple of years. So again, I remind myself and I remind you that you're looking at this on a monitor through YouTube, so it's not going to be as impressive as it would be on your own, you know, if you have a
This form
4K
of bats
TV
was
at home.
created with our Niagara effects system.
The bats look good, though.
Particles in Niagara
Bat
can now
tech.
talk to one another and understand their environment like never before.
Now, Epic was quick to point out that they think this is
We've
achievable.
also added a ton of
You
new
know,
functionality
Epic has
to run fluid
done a lot of
simulations
tech demos.
like you see in the water below.
A lot of times they seem like they're just like, oh, that's all it is. It's like, yeah, if you wanted to render a cutscene, this is great. But they were very sure to make clear that they believe what they showed today, and the reason they showed it in this way is because they think this is going to be achievable, at least on
Demo runs
PS5.
on our chaos physics system. Here we are using it to accurately simulate the rigid bodies of the falling rocks and the cloth of her scarf.
Now, let me be honest and say I think Xbox Series X can do this as well. They clearly have been working with Sony for a while now, and so that's why they are focusing on mentioning PS5, and not Series X. But Series X, look, it's a monster of a machine. And even with their cross-gen obsession, which I respect, and I understand they're just playing a different game at this
Now
point.
that the environment is so complex, we've needed to greatly improve our animation systems to adapt.
They'll probably have
We've added
something like
predictive
this.
foot placement and motion
eventually.
warping, which dynamically modifies IK and body position to look more natural. For the character,
the character
to more
moves so
realistically
good.
interact with the environment, we've added the ability to trigger seamless contextual animation events, like her hand on the door.
Sounds promising.
I love that they really did go for like a Tomb Raider Uncharted hybrid type game here,
Dynamic
right?
GI is amazing, not just for speeding up iteration, but also for its impact on gameplay.
Nice
Any light
looks.
source can move while
It
still
might
having
be.
beautiful bounce lighting. Dynamic illumination means specular as well, which you can see on all the metal surfaces. You can even see the Niagara-powered bugs reacting to the light.
Look at them bugs scatter.
Lumen not only reacts to moving light sources, but also changes in geometry.
The lighting is, to me, what always looks the most impressive in these things. Like, the lighting is always, I feel, it furthers.
Remember we mentioned high poly
So,
assets?
like, you can easily
This statue
identify
was
the
imported
lighting being
directly
better.
from ZBrush and is more than 33 million triangles. No baking of normal maps, no authored LODs.
I will say what's interesting is the environments look so insanely, like, everything's
And
better
we can
than
do
I've ever
more than
seen.
a single statue. There are nearly 500 of that exact statue at the same detail level placed in this
Wow.
room, for a total of over 16 billion triangles from statues alone.
16 billion triangles, but like the character, I'm not gonna lie,
Over
she
this
doesn't look as
entire demo,
good as I would have
there
expected.
Are hundreds of billions of triangles.
You know, they always say like diminishing returns as we move from gen to gen, like it's diminishing returns, but Phil Spencer and others have said, no, this generation really is gonna forward things. But as much as graphics play a part in that, a lot of that power is also going to be used for those no loads, for those bigger seamless worlds, for gameplay improvements, and
With
I almost
Nanite, you
like
have
that
limitless geometry,
better. Graphics are
and
great,
with Lumen, you have fully dynamic lighting and global illumination. All
and I think
running
they do look
on
great.
a PlayStation 5.
But I really do want the gameplay to evolve as well, and something that I worry about, especially for Series X, but even for most of the PS5 titles, especially early on, these environments are ridiculous. They're disgustingly good. Something I worry about... Nate Drake is splooging. Okay, something I worry about is, especially with the emphasis on cross-gen, are you going to get a new console and be like, it doesn't look that much better? Look, Last of Us Part 2 and Ghost of Tsushima are going to look amazing. Cyberpunk going to look really good. Avengers going to look really good. Those are all running on current-gen consoles. Do we expect, are we really ready for the next-gen games to be leaps better and blow us away? I'm not 100% sure if they'll be there right from the jump, especially since Xbox Series X says, hey, no next-gen exclusives for at least a year. Even Halo Infinite going to run on your OG Xbox One. How much will they be able to differentiate? Like, that looks notably, considerably better. I still like, my eyes still like play tricks on me where I'm like, games look just about as good. I know it's better, and it does look better. It's just harder to convince of the jump when things have looked so good currently. So anyways, let's talk about some details. Epic says it's a quantum leap forward. I don't know if I'd call it a quantum leap. I think it looks incredible, and I'm sure in person it looks better. I'm always wanting to be like floored, and I think I'm going to have to actually play these things in person, not on a screen like a YouTube video, to really, really take it in. And I'm sure the same will be for you guys. And I am concerned that the opening year visually may not be as impressive as we hope. But anyways, they say that it's going to launch early next year, but the full rollout will not be until fall of 2021. That's their plan. They mention how games in the Xbox 360 era and the PS3 era did not really take full advantage of the tech for about a year. And so they're kind of targeting Unreal Engine 5 to come fully at that time, and that be when we see like the big explosion of awe-inspiring, beautiful graphics and titles. They say that their early goal is to help developers start thinking of games as holistic products that can work from smartphones all the way to high gaming PCs, because when it launches in 2021, it's going to support current-gen consoles, next-gen consoles, PC, Mac, iOS, and Android. Now, that may sound a little scary, but it's good to have that kind of flexibility. It's good to have that kind of carryover. It's going to allow for people to make games that can cross over. I have my own thoughts about that. I always love exclusives, but I know we're in an era and an industry that prioritizes games being accessible everywhere. And so Unreal Engine 5 is going to support that. They also touch on how they've been specifically working closely with Sony for years now to ensure that UE5 can best utilize the upcoming PlayStation architecture. And they go into some very detailed terms and details about Lumen and Nanite, which we heard them referencing at the beginning of the clip. But what I want to focus on is their description of the new solid-state drive, which is supposed to be the crown jewel of the PS5. This is the thing that's going to create no loads, which I think might be more of a campaign slogan than an actuality. I don't think there will be no loads, but they do say nothing but seamless, continuous worlds, and you can have this degree of fidelity going on for as many kilometers and gigabytes as you wish. And in Sony's words, almost instantaneous loads, freeing up developers to put resources towards maximizing visual quality and totally rethinking level design. And for me, I think the graphics are important, but it's this element that has me insanely excited. Because imagine these worlds now where they do look prettier, but you can go as far as the eye can see, and everything is highly detailed. You can explore, enter, interact, exit, and it does not load. I remember the first moment when I played Alan Wake on Xbox 360, and I saw a gas station in the distance, and I could get there. And that was such a moment for me, because like, wow, games don't really do this that often, where you can see your destination and just reach it. But now with no loads, with incredible graphics, with this powerful solid-state drive, having a game that's a open-world RPG, or having a game that is in the vein of Uncharted, and you can see things so far in the distance, and all of it is accessible, buildings, interiors, exteriors, outdoors, indoors, and it's all there, and it all looks amazing, and there's no loads. I think that's going to be really impressive. Now, they say that this demo isn't even doing everything. It was rendered at 1440p, and it didn't have hardware accelerated ray tracing, 30 frames per second, and they wanted to show off Epic's tech without needing to think about resolution and performance. We know that like Assassin's Creed Valhalla was recently announced for 4K 30, which is the price you pay for cross-gen and compatibility, but some games are going to push 60, some games are going to push 30. They want to make sure that things look great no matter the choice, and they say that UE5 probably will not hit fully until 2022, since it's going to really rev up in late 2021. So currently developers and publishers are using UE4 for their early next-gen titles, which it might sound like a bummer, but I'm sure that's common practice, and I don't think it's going to impact things like in a terrible way. You just won't get to see this specific tech for a while, but that's not to say games can't look approaching this good early on. Very interesting to see, if this quantum leap that they say in UE5 is saved for a year and a half down the road. As we referenced, games don't really take full advantage of the power of the tech for that amount of time, or even longer. If we look at this current generation, chart the progress of graphics from launch day of PS4 to current PS4, and see where it really kind of crested over the hump and hit a like full speed ahead point. I like also that they're talking about how they are going to offer a much better deal for developers using their Unreal Engine 5 tech. I think this is such a great forward-thinking move, and it's such a friendly Good Samaritan move. Previously, they took 5% of all royalties from sales generated by Unreal-powered titles after the first 3,000. Now, the tech is free, but they took their 5% of royalties, and now they're going to let developers keep all royalties for the first million in sales generated, which is a big, big boost for indie devs, smaller devs, who now are going to fully capture all of the earnings for the first $1 million in sales. And it's really awesome, because their hard work, their blood, their sweat, their tears, their time, their baby, their game, yes, it uses Unreal Engine, but Epic is now going to say, you know what, for the first $1 million, hey, you keep it, and then they'll take their 5% after that. And it's retroactive January 1st, which is pretty nice. So anybody that's launched on Unreal in the last 4 months, hey, you guys are getting to keep all your cash up to the first $1 million. And obviously Epic is capable of that, because they are a company that has Fortnite. When you have Fortnite, you got some money that you can be flexible with. And they did also confirm that Fortnite will be ready for PS5 and Xbox Series X launch. If you guys are interested in playing that again, continuing your progress across generations, don't worry. I'm sure all games like Fortnite and Apex will be there. All right, let's take a peek at some more footage of this loveliness. And I'm ready to venture beyond. Outside of this temple, what you got for me, UE5? Blow me away. Take us to another
There's
level.
Not much time left.
And this doesn't need to be constrained to small rooms.
Okay.
It can stretch all the way to the horizon.
That's what I want to see. There we go. That's my moment. That's my chill moment. I got to pause for you. This makes me think of one game and one game only, and that is Horizon Zero Dawn 2. It's been heavily rumored, heavily hinted at. It sure sounds like they're pushing to make it a PS5 launch title or launch window title. We know Guerrilla Games, in good with Sony, Herman Hulst, has risen up the ranks. Imagine Horizon Zero Dawn 2 looking like this. A beautiful, humongous world. You're running around with co-op, slaying robot dinos. Because yes, humans may always have that uncanny valley effect, but robo dinos, the ray tracing, 4K, looking crispy, shooting and sliding in 60 frames per second with your friends could be the game changer. That is something that I say, and I think would make you say, wow, it's all worth it. If Sony is able to deliver on that true next-gen exclusive, and it's Horizon Zero Dawn 2, because like this looks like you'd crest over a hill on Horizon and you'd see something like this, but it would never look this impressive. It would never look this vast. And if they're able to do seamless worlds with awesome robot dinos, with all sorts of weapons, with cooperative potential, with a great storyline, and with graphics that may not be all the way to UE5 since that's not coming till 2021, 2022. I mean, the Horizon Zero Dawn, the original game, looked impressive, and we know that their engine is powered Death Stranding and made that look insane. So take that to another level of PS5. If it's the showpiece, sign me up. We're going to take this further because it feels like the video is getting better and better as it progresses. What's she about to do? Is it over? Oh no! We're diving. Oh, this looks so good. That's so cinematic right there. Heck yes, baby. Why didn't they show this at the start? Gosh, this speed. You're getting a little bit of Spider-Man vibes, and hopefully you're getting chills. I'm getting chills. This looks so good. I mean, it's pretty goofy basic gameplay, but just from like a perspective of all the bells and whistles, destruction, flight, particle effects, speed. Yes, please. Horizon Zero Dawn 2. You won't be able to fly, but I am ready to step into that world. And I'm ready to see what's next. I think this is what we needed. This is the first real call that says, hey, next gen is coming. And I'm excited for Series X. I'm excited for PS5. You guys know I'm going to get both of them. Now that the video is complete, I can safely say this is what we needed. A true ushering in of the new era. Yes, it's exciting to have cross-gen games and a bunch of partners and ports, but come on. If you're going to drop 500 big ones on a system, you want to see what screams next gen. And this was the first example. We don't have any actual games from Sony or Microsoft that really wow us with the full potential of those boxes' power, but I hope they're coming soon. The rumor is that Sony's event is next month. Microsoft says July, but maybe they have to say something earlier because this is so heavily tied to Sony. Right now, it looks like Sony is thinking far ahead, and Microsoft is kind of unsure. And I applaud them again. I'll say it again for their backwards compatibility program, their smart delivery program, their ability to incorporate and involve everyone. That's great. For the next gen buyer, for why spend 500? We need to see what these games can do, what these systems are really capable of, what their max effort and their max ability is. And I think this was the first beckoning call towards all of that. Now we need to see the actual games that we can put in our system, because you can't put this game in, even though it does look pretty cool. The Uncharted Horizon Tomb Raider hybrid, it ain't gonna work in anybody's system because it's just a demo for dev kits. But soon enough, we will see what they can do with this kind of power in our favorite franchise, and for that, I am so stoked. I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of all this, what game you'd want to see take advantage, and if you are as hyped about the potential and the hope of Horizon Zero Dawn 2 as I am. Hit that like button if you enjoyed. Everybody have a fantastic day. Stay safe and stay healthy out there. I love you a lot. Until next time, drink some hot chocolate. Next gen is so freaking close, and this is the first time that I've really gone, okay, buckle in. So buckle in, we will. I'm ready for it. I hope you are. I'll see you guys next time. Until then, thanks again. We'll see you all later.